Nothing else can happen, right?
Nothing else can happen.
Do things ever get stockpiled? Like, do they say, we're trying to get a hold of? Can they extend it half an hour if you're working on a deal?
I think the technology advancement to no fax machines and you can just scan an email has made life easier for the WHL office and the club teams.
No moves made today for you guys. Did you have some callers though? Were some people interested in some of these guys?
Yeah, I we didn't really engage in much since the 3 deals on New Year's Eve. We continue to have teams reaching out on a few guys or what we may or may not do moving forward. But from my end, I felt that we did enough in terms of having an eye on the future, while at the same time balancing to remain competitive. And I believe in this group. Being the new guy here and getting familiar with the team, and I've talked about them understanding what they are, buying into a team identity, remaining competitive, their work ethic. I think we've got great people in our room. I think we have great leadership. I think we have outstanding character. And, I met with the team here just before I came here, talked to them about where we're at, talked to them that regardless of who was here and who's not here anymore, expectations don't change. Meaningful games are important. Competing for a playoff spot is important. And I believe that group has it in them. And I think our fan base and the rest of the league will see a very committed, a very hardworking team the rest of the year that regardless how many World Junior players or NHL first-round picks are on the other team, we'll give them everything they can handle.
Tanner Howe's kind of the big name here in Regina right now. What was the interest on him, and why not move him? Why were you excited to keep him around for his 19-year-old season next year?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about any players on the roster and anything to do with trades.
Okay, yeah, because we were wondering if anybody was knocking on your door for Tanner. They would be interested.
I'm not going to talk about again, the trade deadline's passed. I'm not going to talk about players that are on our roster, and if there was any trade discussions around those players, there's no point.
Okay. Where is this team? Is it kind of building to 2 years? You kind of mentioned it earlier when you made those trades about where this team is kind of looking to the future, but while, like you said, still focusing on the present.
Yeah, I think when you talk about 2 years out, I think obviously with the addition of Moore and Bushkowski, we've strengthened the 06 age group. So when that group is 19 years old, what does our team look like? How is it complemented by the 20-year-old group, the 05s? But I think when I look at our team over the next 3 years, remain as competitive as we can this year. I think we'll take a good step next year, with some good younger players coming in, and then that year after we should be a pretty solid hockey club.
Do you look at your geographic rivals and see what they've done and think it's going to be tough?
Daryl, it's hard enough to manage one team. I don't need to manage 2 or 3.
Okay.
You know what? I've been in their shoes, and when you have a chance to win, what moves do you make? How deep do you go into your draft capital and your prospect pool to win? For me here, we want to get this club to a point where, a deadline looks like us making moves to try and win a championship. But at the same time, I'd like to see us do it with sustainability. Draft well, develop our players. If we're going to make trades, they're going to complement our draft and development model. And I have a respect for all the managers in the league. Every team, from ownership to the managers to the coaches, have to do what they need to do in terms of what they feel is the best direction for their team. And yeah, we've had 3 teams in the province be very aggressive, and they're going to be, it's going to be tough competition when you look at the rosters of those three teams.
Of the guys that you kind of brought in here recently, I think all of them have recorded a point already with this team. How cool is that for you to see, though?
Well, I think it's good for a couple reasons. One, if they're getting points, and then we're scoring goals. But secondly, I think if you're a new player and you can get in the lineup and you can contribute right away, it settles you down and makes you feel good about your new environment. It gives you confidence in what you're doing. You see a Zach Moore, for example, getting some good ice time with Howe and Whitehead and fitting in there nicely. Barczyk in overtime the other night makes a great play from Vaughn, steps up, gets the puck to the net. Shancy bangs in the rebound. We win the game in overtime. Gibson's had a few important assists along the way here. I think it's we knew those players well, both on and off the ice, and they're here as advertised, and the information that we got. And like I said, they're going to help us this year and next and beyond.